Asgardians. The Asgardians are a humanoid race of extradimensional beings that hail from Asgard, a small pocket dimension adjacent to Earth. They travel around the 9 realms including Earth via an interdimensional nexus known as the Bifrost. They are also known as the Aesir Gods, who have been worshipped by the humans of Scandinavia, Britain, and Northern Europe. The religion however fell out of favor due to the rise of Christianity. Alternate realities. Earth 717. After Thor became the Herald of Galactus and Loki took possession of the kingdom of Asgard after the death of Odin, the Asgardians were persuaded by Thor to move on to Midgard as well as to devour Asgard by Galactus to stop the misdeeds of Loki. Earth 774. Loki attempted to manipulate the Hulk in this reality much like he did on Earth 616. However, in this reality, Bruce Banner retained his intelligence whenever he became the Hulk and saw through Loki's ruse, thus the Avengers never formed in this reality. Earth 776. In this reality, the Avengers formed due to the machinations of Loki, and Thor was among their members. However, in this reality, the group could not agree on how to deal with their former teammate the Hulk, forcing the group to disband. Thor returned to Asgard to focus his energies to fighting threats to his homeland. Earth 788. Jane Foster was the one to find Thor's hammer in Norway, becoming the costumed hero known as Thordis. When Loki freed himself from the tree in which he was trapped in, he went to Earth and was shocked to find a female Thor. Thordis defeated him and sent him back to Asgard where he told a shocked Odin of the developments on Earth. Odin called Thordis to Asgard and confronted her with the truth about Donald Blake. Odin banished Thordis from Asgard, and she went about on many adventures on her own. When Odin went into the Odin sleep, he charged Sif to keep Asgard safe. Loki transported her to Earth and had her meet with Donald Blake. Sure enough, they fell in love and started a relationship. Loki attacked Sif on Earth and injured her until Thordis arrived to stop the fight. After Sif underwent surgery, Thordis and Sif detected the coming of Ragnarok and traveled to Asgard with Donald Blake to battle Mangog. With the help of Odin, they prevented Ragnarok and defeated Mangog. In the aftermath, Odin told Jane to return Mjolnir to him, and he would turn it over to Blake, restoring him to his true form of Thor. In thanks for her help, Odin transformed Jane into a god herself. Odin proposed marriage to Jane, and the two were wed and ruled over Asgard while Thor and Sif would return to Earth and defended it. Earth 804. On Earth 804, history diverged from Earth 616 during the event of the Kree-Skrull War. In this reality, a world where Rick Jones was killed early on, thereby prolonging the war. Thor and Iron Man were charged with preventing the Skrull forces from reaching Earth. During the battle, Iron Man was severely injured, forcing Thor to bring Iron Man to Asgard, and there, he petitioned Odin to get Asgard involved in the conflict. Odin agreed, and Thor led a war party including Sif, Balder, and the Warriors 3 among others. They held off the Skrull forces in space until the end of the conflict. Earth 928. Some citizens of Earth 928 worship the Asgardian gods. For example, Punisher 2099 was raised as a Thorite and was a member of the Church of Thor. In the Fall of Hammer storyline, Alchemax created the floating city of Valhalla, which contained the false Norse gods known as the Aesir, including Heimdall, Baldur, Thor, and Loki. Earth 7642. On Earth 7642, Asgardians seemingly had a similar history as their new Earth counterparts. They were known as Old Gods and lived on a planet called Godworld until they were destroyed during Ragnarok. Following their reincarnation, it can be assumed Asgardian history followed its Earth 616 history. Earth 8545. In the Vylok-infected world of Earth 8545, the Asgardians were called upon to produce their godly blood to construct a cure for the legacy plague. Earth 9997. The Asgardians are aliens that were manipulated by the Celestials. Their natural evolution over the centuries has put them in the third tier of the celestial mutation cycle. As such, their appearance, powers, and identities are defined by the belief of others. As they are believed to be the gods of Norse mythology, therefore, they have the same special adaptations. In the guise of Asgardians, these aliens have become extremely long-lived, but not immortal like the Olympians. They age very slowly upon reaching adulthood. Their body density is 3 times denser than normal human beings, contributing to their superhuman strength and weight. Earth 22260. In Earth 22260, the Asgardians lost their war with the Frost Giants. They stormed Asgard and destroyed the realm and most of its inhabitants. Thor is the last known surviving Asgardian. Earth 199999. Thor and the Asgardians are a race of advanced beings who the Vikings worshipped as gods. When Thor was a baby, the Asgardians went down to Midgard, Earth, with their king Odin to defend the human race from the frost giants. When they won the war, they returned to Asgard, where they kept watch over the 9 realms, but because they are far from them, they use a portal called the Bifrost guarded by a gatekeeper named Heimdall. They are long-lived but not immortal, and they are strong and powerful warriors. Thor and the warriors of Asgard defended the 9 realms for thousands of years, but because of Thor's love for Jane Foster and his loyalty to his friends of Earth he found years later during his banishment, Thor defends Earth as a member of the Avengers. Powers and abilities. Powers. The Asgardian gods all possess certain superhuman physical attributes. Superhuman strength. All Asgardians are superhumanly strong, with the average Asgardian male god able to lift, press, about 30 tons under optimal conditions, and the average Asgardian goddess able to lift, press, about 25 tons under optimal conditions. Superhuman speed. All Asgardians have the potential of being able to run and move at speeds much greater than the finest human athlete. Only Hermod and a few others can supersede the majority of the Asgardian gods. Superhuman stamina. The musculature of the Asgardian gods produce considerably fewer fatigue toxins during physical activity than the muscles of human beings. An average Asgardian god can exert themselves at peak capacity for about 24 hours before fatigue impairs them. Odin, Thor, and Tyr are physically stronger than most of the Asgardian gods. Superhumanly dense tissue. The skin, muscle, and bone tissues of the Asgardian gods are about 3 times as dense as the same tissue of a human body, contributing to their superhuman strength and weight. Superhuman durability. The bodies of the Asgardian gods are considerably more resistant to physical injury than the bodies of human beings. Asgardian gods are capable of withstanding conventional injury, including great impact forces, exposure to temperature and pressure extremes, and falls from great heights without sustaining physical injury. According to Norman Osborn, most Asgardians at their base level are about as physically durable as Spider-Man, although this was most likely a lie he told to push his employees to fight during siege. Regenerative healing factor. Despite their natural durability, it is possible for any of the Asgardian gods to sustain injury. However, if injured, their highly advanced metabolism enables them to recover with superhuman speed and efficiency. As with most of their other powers, the speed and extent of these powers varies from one Asgardian god to another and is greater for more powerful Asgardians. According to Doom, during an Asgardian vivisection, a normal Asgardian can heal from having their heart removed for 5 minutes after the removal, in addition to having his or her neural system continue to function normally. Superhuman longevity. The Asgardian gods are extremely long-lived, but they are not truly immortal like the Olympian gods. They age at a much slower rate, but they are not immune to the effects of aging. Their bodies are also immune to all known earthly diseases and infection. Energy manipulation. The Asgardian gods have some potential to manipulate mystical or cosmic energies for some purpose. These powers are mostly limited to changing their appearance or shape and teleporting across great distances. However, a small minority of the Asgardian gods are capable of manipulating vast amounts of energy for a variety of purposes, including teleportation, shapeshifting, matter manipulation, augmentation of their physical capabilities, erecting powerful force fields, firing powerful blasts of energy for destructive purposes, and granting superhuman attributes to objects and beings. According to Dr. Doom, every Asgardian has a spark of the Odin force inside them, giving them their mystical nature. Abilities. The Asgardian gods possess specific skills associated with their personalities or area of expertise. For example, as the Asgardian god of thunder, Thor has complete control and mastery of the weather, whereas Amora is highly skilled in all forms of physical and sexual pleasure. Most of the Asgardian gods have had some degree of training in armed and unarmed combat through private tutors or through the other gods. Riding/horsemanship. Many of the Asgardians are proficient horseback riders trained in riding conventional horses and winged horses in addition to other enchanted animals. Combat proficiency. The Asgardians are exceptional warriors in both armed and unarmed combat, including swordsmanship and archery. Weapon proficiency. The Asgardians are known to carry swords, battle axes, and war hammers among other weapons. Allspeak. Thanks to the Allspeak, Asgardians can communicate and be understood by our races. Weaknesses. The Asgardians are not highly advanced in technology, and unlike many of the Olympians or other pantheons, very few relatively wield magic. Even Ares has been shown using it for various effects. The Asgardians were doomed to die and be reborn in the eternal cycle of Ragnarok, until Thor ended it, their lives bound to the Norns, Yggdrasil, Hela, and those who sit above in shadow. Even on Midgard without Ragnarok, it has been shown that the touch of mortality upon the Asgardians are greater than in Asgard, and, like Odin, their natural powers are weakened. Habitat. Habitat. Earth-like. Gravity. Normal. Atmosphere. Normal. Population. Unknown. Miscellaneous. Type of government. Monarchy. Level of technology. Magic. Cultural traits. The Asgardians were worshipped as gods by the people of Scandinavia and Germania, occupying parts of Britain, Gaul, modern-day France, and North American outposts. Representatives. Balder. Bor. The Enchantress. Executioner. Fandral. Frigga. Heimdall. Hela. Hogun. Karnilla. Loki. Odin. Sif. Thor. Valkyrie. Volstagg. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kayashin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.